This is the story of Pandora's box. Long ago, the great god Zeus overcame a gigantic race, the Titans, to become the most powerful god. He ruled over Olympus, and Zeus had banned all the Titans to Tartarus, but he spared those who he had conquered, Prometheus and his brother Epimetheus. Instead of banishing them, he gave them a task of going to Earth to make its creatures. Just before he sent them down from the heavens, he gave Epimetheus the gift to offer their creation. The brothers traveled the earth and set to work. Using the abundant river clay, they began to mold their creations. Prometheus was wise and the more thoughtful and cautious of the two brothers. He took great care with his work, spending a good deal of time thinking over each decision he made in crafting human beings. He decided he would shape them like the gods, for he imagined great things they would one day accomplish. His brother, on the other hand, was not as thoughtful. He worked as fast as he could, shaping and molding all of the animals. Each time he finished his creation, he handed out one of Zeus's gifts. He gave the animals strength and endurance. He gave out the keen of sense of smell and sight to some of his creatures. He gave wings to others. He gave claws to the other, and some he gave a protective coat. And others still received thick coats of fur. When Epimetheus was finished with his creation, he realized he had given away all of Zeus's gifts, and he had nothing left for his brother to give to the human beings. When Prometheus finished his work and saw his creatures shivering in the cold, dark night, terrified of the many powerful beasts his brother had created, his heart ached. He could not bear the sight of their suffering, and he decided he must return to Olympus to ask Zeus for another gift. He wished to give his creations fire. He stood before Zeus and humbly asked, "I wish you to give me one more gift. The people do not have coats of fur to keep them warm, and they do not have protective shells or wings or claws. Please let me give them fire." Zeus was furious at the bold request of Prometheus. "The fire belongs to the gods, and to the gods alone," he roared. "How dare you ask for something more?" And he sent Prometheus away. Prometheus knew he must help his creation, and although he understood Zeus could be a vengeful, angry god, he decided he must do something. He must steal the fire. He waited until he was certain Zeus was not watching, and he lifted his torch to the sun and lit it, catching an ember of fire. This he hid inside a hollow stalk and hurried back to Earth. He gathered the people and said, "I give you fire," and he set the ember free. It burst into flames, and all the people cheered at the warmth and the light of his gift. "Never let the light of Olympus die," Prometheus warned. "If you keep the flames alive, you shall live good and happy lives." The people were overjoyed with fire, with no longer shivering in the cold nights. The fire they were able to forge weapons and subdue the wild beasts. With fire they made tools to till the earth and build dwellings. With fire they warmed these dwellings, and the animals feared the sight of these flames and no longer attacked human beings. As the humans watched the smoke spiraling into the sky, their thoughts turned to the gods. They decided to build temples to honor those gods, and they decided to roast an animal as a sacrifice of the gods. When Zeus looked down and saw the fires flickering, he was furious. He understood Prometheus had betrayed him. Zeus, knowing this, he then decided to punish Prometheus. He then went and captured Prometheus, and then decided he had to chain him to a rock, and he forced an eagle to come every single day to where he was located at and eat his liver out. And his liver would grow back every single day because he gave him the power of regeneration. So then he would have to go through this every single day in non-stop pain. And he also decided to punish the humans because the humans had accepted this gift of fire. So he then decided that he had to punish them. So what he ended up doing was he ended up molding a beautiful woman named Pandora. And in her he put beauty, happiness, intelligence, all these good traits. But then deep down he bestowed her curiosity. And with that being said, he then took Pandora and sent her down as a gift to Prometheus's brother Epithemius. And Prometheus beforehand had warned his brother to be careful and not trust Zeus or any of the gods. And so he also gave them a box and said, never open this box, and he gave Epithemius the key to the box. So days passed, and then Pandora was very curious about this box, and she kept wanting to open it over and over. And then ultimately one day Epithemius is sleeping, and she takes the key from his neck and then opens the box, and all these things fly out: hate, anger, greed, and many other things. And then the last thing to fly out was hope. Zeus decided, well, if I'm going to punish them, I'm going to at least give them hope, so that way they can get through the day and keep going. And so that way there's still something, like they're still there to worship me and have, like, ask for forgiveness and la da da da. And that's the story of Pandora.